Yeah, I thought I'd be the sandwich, the little sandwich. That sounded wrong than it meant to be. So we all got our Twitters out.
Yeah, well,
let's get Twitter.
Except me, of course. I'm doing Tim Key the early years down here.
So if you're not following us, it is at LKT Zoom on Twitter. And if you've seen a tweet like in the interval, or even just like this last week that's really annoyed you or whatever, just like at us, and then we'll have a look. So you see that it's like, oh, it's magic. Like there's been black magic. Yeah. So obviously our guests have picked tweets this last week. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, I was buying time then. Did you see that?
Do we want to, before we get right into it, do we want to just have a chat about the social media?
Oh yes, let's do that. So
soften them up.
soften them up about the social media. Social media.
Well, Pat's just been taught how to link a tweet.
I did not. So I asked a friend of mine who's 23 years old, like the young people, and my friend didn't even know. They were like hit the top, the 3 dots, and then it was only Eric, who is probably 32 now. Eric showed me how to send a tweet. Did anyone else know? Did you know how to send a tweet?
Not to send a tweet, but to share the tweet with someone else.
Yeah,
he doesn't even know what I showed him how to do.
I didn't even know I had an iPhone. I thought this was a landline. I was like, where's the lead? This sounds bad.
Yeah, but what kind of relationship do you have with Twitter, Patrick?
So I literally will. So every day, if I'm going on tour. So what I'll do is I'll get my tour thing gets sent, and I have to put like this date is this week. I'm doing this, this, and this. I literally go on Twitter, put that poster up, and then log straight out. And then sometimes I'll do a video every day or something about something. I put it up and then log out. I don't even know there's a feed. I don't even look. If sometimes people reply, I'll go on. I'll like it. I'll say thanks very much. I'll see you in that place, and then bye. And then that's it. And then there might be, there might be a massive news story. Someone's dead, and then what I'll do is I'll ignore it and then just watch it on TV.
Okay, so it's a need-to-use basis, basically.
Exactly.
What about you, Eric? What kind of relationship have you got?
I quite like Twitter. I suppose my Twitter, I can't talk today. My Twitter claim to fame was that I was blocked by Donald Trump when he was still president and on Twitter.
Yes.
And that was a special day because the algorithms have changed over the years, but because I do have a verified account, because I'm not bragging, but. Back in the day, I know, Pat. Do you have blue tick?
Yeah, I think blue tick.
You think you do?
I've got a blue tick.
Check it out.
Do you?
Yeah.
He doesn't even appreciate what it means. But anyway.
Couldn't give a monkeys, mate, unless there's money.
Yeah. So.
Unless there's free drugs but I'm joking. That's you.
But anyway. But, so I was tweeting Trump loads, and then one day the tweets weren't there, like the notifications weren't coming through, and I realized I was blocked. And apparently, I'm not quite sure what tweet it was, but I do think it was around Melania's birthday, when I said, it's Melania's birthday soon, why don't you give her what she really wants, a divorce. And I'd like to think it was that one. But he tweeted loads of people that were blue-ticked, but there was a lawsuit brought against him by a Knights Columbia law firm, and they sued him because he was using his personal Twitter feed in the official capacity as the president, which was blocking access as an American citizen to our president, and that became like a town hall thing, like you can't speak to the president, and they won in court, and Trump had to unblock us. And my name was submitted in a letter to the Department of Justice of the United States, and some fucker had to go in and unblock me. So,
which is funny because then he got blocked.
Yeah, he got
cancelled. He got cancelled. Trump.
Didn't he set up his own? He set up his own Twitter thing, a social network or something. Didn't he? God, it's mental.
Any Twitter fans in?
Twitter.
Trump. Any Trump supporters? No. Okay, good. It's good to know.
Hang on, let's start. Who here was for the banning of Trump on Twitter? Yeah, right. Just mark. It's Mark, isn't it?
Yeah, Mark.
No, just mark it back. So, everyone else pro-Trump.
I think because it was like we enjoyed the ridiculousness of him on Twitter. It's like it's what are we going to do now? Where's the entertainment? It's like get the popcorn every day. What shitty thing is he going to do today? Every day was just full of little packages of surprises. You know, I'm going to ban Muslims because everything was different every
But didn't
day.
he, because I remember seeing it in the paper, didn't he used to tweet at like 3 a.m. or something? It was something
Yeah,
ridiculous,
yeah.
wasn't it? Because I wouldn't know when it, like, but I remember reading about it, he'd always be like, here's another another quote or something, and it was like, always like, yeah, like what you said about the borders, we've got to build a bigger wall, let's get the Mexicans to do this. Also, I've just had a McDonald's. And he's like, he just randomly...
Well, that was his cafefe thing that came out at 3 a.m., where he just tweeted the word cafefe. And then rather than just admit it was a mistake and a misfire, they styled it out. And you had people in the White House press room going, oh yes, the president knows what that means. And the people that need to know what that means. And I think it was Russian for invade. Yeah.
This is the thing. It's his stupidity, and I think we can probably mirror that here with our leader. That they just will not back down. They will not admit that they've said or done anything wrong, and just keep signing out, keep kind of being very sorry, go on.
Well, you know, because you were saying it, like this is the thing. If he just admitted the stuff, one of the things that I couldn't believe he didn't admit was the one about, do you know, where in Afghanistan, in Kabul, he said that he sent all them animals to hear about the pets, and he said this sanctuary for dogs and rescue cats, whatever. He said, oh no, there was a leaked memo saying that he was the one that managed to save all of these. He said Boris Johnson signed up to save one, and even Boris said, oh no, that's not me. And they go, there's a signature there, mate. And also, why would you not say, yeah, that was me? It was a good deed, isn't it?
Because British people
Love
love a
animals.
dog.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, his life.
Especially, yeah.
Save the dog.
From Afghanistan, full of poppies and opium. You'd love it. It'd be like that.
But just playing devil's advocate, obviously, he could be right, because there is a rumour that obviously that was down to his wife Carrie, and what Carrie wants, Carrie gets. Yeah, is that kind of relationship you want there, guys? Huh?
What kind of wallpaper do you have in your house?
£300,000 worth.
That was the tagline for Sex and the City, I think, wasn't it? What Carrie wants.
What Carrie wants, Carrie gets. Oh!
Not for the new one. What's it called? And just like that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that. Anyone seen the new one?
Just.
Wow.
I've never seen any of them.
These guys were even born when Sex and the City was on.
Yeah.
I mean,
1990.
you remember? Do you watch it?
Yeah, but I'm sorry, I'm not a Sex and the City fan now. That they were a bit mean girls around Kim Cattrall. I like her because I
She's
like.
not in it.
No, she's not in it, and I'm
That's
sorry.
how
I'm
we
not
work.
putting up with bullying. That's it. Not my watch. No.
Actually, let's segue.
Yes,
Start with
let's
the
do another. Let's do a tweet.
Yeah, let's hope it does. Let's hope it
So
does
this is
well.
where the real meat of the show comes in now,
Well, we hope so.
because Patrick has run away.
Get a little preview of selected tweets. Right, where are you? We're going to start with a tweet from comedian Sid Singh.
Oh, actually, do you know what? Why don't we? Because this is live. Why don't we scroll and then let like random audience members decide which one they want to stop at?
No, well, yes. Okay.
Yeah. Come on.
Let's just show
This is
well,
live,
they can
and
do
so
that. They can do that.
yeah.
Except the fact that we've chosen. There's quite a lot of JimmyCarr, so
We can. That's all right. You can work. We can work this. We can do
Alright.
this. We can do this.
What could go wrong
Who's
with
up for you guys
26
helping us with
people?
this?
yeah, all right.
Who's up? Make some noise if you want to help us.
Oh
no! My hearing aids are on, and I heard. I think they were all cheering, then, weren't they? They were all cheering. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. Look, because you're the most friendliest faces in this room, right? And I'm gonna go with you, sir. Do you want to pick like what's your name?
I'll get the
What's your,
first one, which I think.
oh, which one? Huh?
What's my name?
Yeah, Arthur. Oh, Arthur. Oh, okay. And what tweet do you like the look of?
No.
I can't read from this.
Can,
Oh, you want to? Okay. No, listen. No. Julian's getting hangry. You didn't get a chance to eat your sandwich, and we're going to make Julian decide. Arthur, you have to wait.
Wow.
Julian
What?
comes first.
So democratic. I promise, Arthur, you'll get a turn in a minute. But
Julian is. Hang on, Arthur's the one. You haven't got Twitter, have you? And it's amazing because he hasn't got Twitter. I know he hasn't got Twitter, and his name's Arthur. I love it.
I made Instagram in the lounge.
Oh, good.
Oh.
Yes. What the app?
Did you say you made it?
Yeah. With Zuckerberg.
Okay.
I made
Let's settle down.
Facebook in the bathroom.
Julian. Shh. Guys, Julian needs to do the thing. Come on.
You're far too democratic, Sajeela. It's crazy.
I go with
You've
the
obviously
flow.
gone wild. I like my very well ordered.
Yeah, and I'm the complete opposite. I don't know how we ended up working together.
It's terrible, isn't it? This might be the last time. So we're talking about Sex and the City. So this is a segue because follow-up is called And Just Like That, which I think is just at its last episode of the 10, which I just couldn't get through at the end of it. And Sid Singh, fantastic comedian, Sid, is basically tying in the Joe Rogan story here. So his tweet is, and just like that is Joe Rogan for liberals. Both the past and prime weird about podcasts, spread a distorted reality, and will probably be back next year anyway. So, Rogan. Now, what do we want to take Rogan more than we want to take Sex and the City? What's our Rogan temperature?
I think it's your fellow countrymen, so we're going to start.
Oh my God. Yeah, it was just like this when Bush was in power. Why did you invade Iraq? Just want to find out how to make hummus. Good, Iraqi hummus. No, I mean, this whole platforming, deplatforming, I think it comes up in a few of the tweets and themes we have today. I am very much a free speech advocate because the U.S. is all about free speech. You can say anything that you want, except you cannot do an incitement to violence. That is the one rule that you can't do. So you can't like say, I'm going to set fire to the building and that kind of thing. What you can do, because we have freedom of expression, is you can send a tweet. That says I'm going to kill you. That's perfectly simple. You just can't do it. But so I think it's up to the platforms if they want to have someone on who says the things that Joe Rogan has been saying, which is vaccine misinformation. And then the latest thing is there's a video going around that's put together all of the times that he has said the N-word over all of his podcast episodes, and it goes on for 6 minutes. And he has apologized for that because apparently the Spotify masters, who gave him $100 million for his podcast, have finally said, nah, we're going to cut some of these. So they have pulled 112 of his podcasts. And, it's not...
But it's got a billion more.
He's got a billion more. The man can talk.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's their prerogative for it.
And Patrick, what's your take on this whole sort of... Because it has been going on for a good, for a while now.
Yeah, I just found out that about the racist stuff. That obviously that needs to go straight away. But I was reading something about where he'd done stuff about the anti-vaxxers and he brought some people on. And the problem is, I think with all of us, it's like, we're not that daft. Most people, when you hear stuff, you can make your own decisions. But I think with Joe Rogan, he's such a powerful force, hasn't he? He's like got an army of, what is it like? I don't know, what is it, like 1 billion people listen to it or something?
11 million people per episode.
11 million people per episode, and not the same 11 million. That's ridiculous.
Is this the army that's amassing on the border of the Ukraine?
Yeah, exactly. But he couldn't he? He could literally say, right, we're going to attack, and people would do it. I think when you get to that sort of level of power, I think, you've got to, you've got to regulate. You've got to come in at some point because he just becomes bigger than the platform itself.
It's funny because I'm sitting in the middle here, and I am sort of kind of sit like quite moderately on a lot of issues, and I can see one side and then I see the other side. Oh yeah, I get your side. And with the whole Joe Rogan thing, there's a part of me thinks, well, hang on a minute, this is censorship, and we shouldn't censor. And when you got the 6-minute clip of him saying the N-word and all the Planet of the Apes, I think he also used. It was obviously a witch hunt. People wanted to get, so if you find enough. And I think I've said it in a TV thing last night. I said that the thing is, comedians have actually got I don't know where this was taped. Do you have any knowledge of where the actual N-word for 6 minutes where it came from?
All his podcasts.
All his podcasts.
It's not like
Was it stand-up or just podcast?
It's a combination. It won't be released for a sale.
Yeah.
But then, as you say, on the other side, as you say, that he has got so much power. When you've got that much, you've got some responsibility, I think, to kind of let people know that you were wrong and that this isn't the right way to go because people are kind of used to seeing it as an influence. Just by a cheer, who thinks that Joe Rogan should, like, basically we should like get rid of all the bad stuff and he should apologise profusely and what he did was wrong? Big cheer if you think that. Okay, and those who believe in freedom of speech and thinks, well, everything goes, it's freedom of speech.
No speech. That's great.
Yeah, but
are there any Rogan listeners that want to out themselves at all? I'm not saying it's
in this part of North London? No.
Oh, I love how they do that. Like the anonymous, the names have been changed, and they're just going to put them in darkness so we can't see them. That's interesting. That's interesting because I think the tide is changing. Yeah. So, have we got anything else associated to this? Because obviously we're talking about freedom of speech, and
the Jimmy Carr. We could spend the whole podcast talking about Jimmy Carr.
Let's do just a quick one.
Well, look, there's so many tweets on this. Let's see.
So just to kind of recap, so Jimmy Carr, his special is called His Dark Materials on Netflix, and it's called His Dark Materials, just to be clear. It's JimmyCarr. We're all familiar with JimmyCarr, are we not?
Yep.
Okay, right. So he then releases, out of context, I think, a piece of his show, like a little segment of his show, where I don't know if do you know the joke? Anybody knows the joke? Because I don't even want to say the joke. Huh?
It's a bad joke.
I don't even want to say the joke.
Yeah, so the joke is about the Holocaust.
Has he
You've all
really got-
heard it? Have you heard
Well,
it?
the basic.
So it's basically, he says that in the Holocaust, he said 6 million Jews died, he said, which is tragic, but people always forget that they killed hundreds of thousands of gypsies and Romas, so they never talk about the positives. And it's like, and that's the joke, which
Yeah.
is horrific.
It is paced in a different way, and it is typical JimmyCarr. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't, do we have a tweet with that? Because I'm sure you tweeted or I sent it to you. But if not, don't worry. So that's the context of what we're talking about. So what are the tweets that we have then?
Well,
from?
okay, so you've got, well, I quite like this from Andrew Ellard. So in the last couple of years, I've seen a lot of comedians bring up a tricky subject, play the nervous audience laugh, and then pivot cleverly to a punchline that subverted those expectations. Today's the first time that I've seen a comic play the nervousness and then just do racism.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Andrew's just calling out what it is. I mean, my argument on that is in terms of delivery, and it's who's selling it to you, and if it's like it's Ricky Gervais doing something similar. I think we've seen that irony sort of underlined so many times, but Jimmy's delivery is so clinical, it just didn't seem to sort of fit. I mean, David Baddiel here is saying that, I mean, he's basically said that he's a mate of Jimmy's, and that hasn't changed, but he's saying, well, he says, I said this every night during my Trolls Not the Dolls tour, as part of a bit arguing that it's not the subject matter of the joke that counts, it's the specifics of the individual joke. Clearly, JimmyCarr's was the former. So, you know, I mean,
100%. It's
and then the kind of the sort of more right-leaning comments, I haven't sort of, it's not balanced that I haven't necessarily retweeted those. They're less interesting. They're saying it's just a joke, and where's the balance and sense? Because if you start messing with joke constructs, then you do like you get dead end.
Yeah, but
it's about who's selling it.
But the problem is, this is the big problem I've got with it, is that it's not. It's more of a. It's not really just a joke. It's a statement of fact. I mean, these are people, Romas, Gypsies. These people were killed, and the fact is, he's using that. He's playing on the thing, the fact that that's quite a big problem, where the people were cheering and clapping it. I mean, look, so comedy, whether you think it's right or wrong, comedy is about entertaining, but it's also about punching up. We're comics to try and fight the system. Jimmy is punching down 10 times. He's not punching down one. He's going right down to the bottom. You know, he's punching people right down to the bottom like that. And he knows what he's doing. Look, the point is, okay, Jimmy might not be a racist. I'm not saying that he's a racist, but the massive point here is that he knows exactly what he's doing. He's an intelligent bloke. He knows that if he does that routine, because normally that routine wouldn't get past commissioners. There's no way. Never. Nobody's going to let you put that joke out with half a sensibility. Yeah, unless you Spotify. But even Spotify wouldn't put something like that out now. Jimmy knows exactly what he's doing. He knows that, look, I'm going to put this out. Jimmy goes, this joke is going to go global, or this, whatever this statement is, this is going to go global, this is going to be talked on Twitter for about 2 or 3 days. You know, and he's a masochistic, or whatever you call it. He wants that. It's not, I mean, look, we're all comedians. A joke's a joke's a joke, but this isn't a joke.
Okay, I want to bring in Eric into this. What
There's a lot of that a lot of comedians are saying, well, you can't say anything anymore, and that is not true. You have to just maybe think a little bit harder about what you want to say and how you might turn that phrase and the way you twist it. And the way he's twisted it is essentially, and I'm always hesitant to criticize another comedian, especially one that is, you know, allegedly, you know, is massively successful. But he, like you said, he has punched directionally down because there's status in comedy, about a higher status. So he's coming from the point of highest privilege possible. If he was from a gypsy, Roma background, then that changes things because he's part of that. There's part of that there. But I still believe you can say anything in comedy, but you just have to go that further bit and subvert it in a different way and be a little bit more clever. That's why we don't do mother-in-law jokes anymore. That's why the working man's clubs jokes that are still popular in certain places, but aren't popular in the mainstream anymore, because we've been there and we've evolved beyond that, and the comedy evolves as well. So there's no reason why it can't go that little bit further. You can still say whatever you want to say. I mean, you know, in the UK you do have actual hate speech legislation, which does complicate that a little bit, and if the stuff that this government passes, then we'll be able to say less. And I don't agree with that. But it's whether you should say it, and whether if you are going to try and make a point that might be edgy or controversial, you need to say it in a creative way. I have things that I hate. I have things that I abhor, and I should be allowed to say them, and then you can judge me for them. But whether I should say them is, like, for example, I mean, maybe I'll lose the room on this. I've lived in the UK for 22 years. I hate the fact that you eat baked beans for breakfast. Nasty. Am I supposed to not say that? Am I supposed to push that down inside? I mean, from Canada, and you don't do, well, Canada, you're Commonwealth. You don't eat baked beans for breakfast in Puerto Rico, do you? Because you have good taste. Fucking disgusting.
How else?
It's like just someone's shit in your mouth. It's turds. I want you to think about that the next time you have it. But I have 2 British children. I cannot stop them from eating baked beans for breakfast.
And then they can sell their farts in a glass.
What I can do is I can stop loving them.
Oh.
That is my recourse.
Heinz used to call them
I love baked beans for breakfast. But I think that's the thing. You have to look at, is the direction pointing down in the right direction? He could have twisted that. He's a smart man.
You know that he literally was going for the pub. He knows what he's doing.
And he's going to be on TV now talking about how he's been cancelled more than he was before. And that's what I hate about the cancel culture comedians, is I can't stop seeing them on every fucking media platform telling me how they've been cancelled. And
this is how you get like an Edinburgh Award, Edinburgh shows, like specials, because you tell people that you cancel. It is absolutely a publicity stunt. I absolutely agree with you both.
Yeah.
I have to state that the clip that we're speaking about, it is taken out of context. It is just sent out there as a little thing, like a teaser, if you like. And he's courting controversy. There's also part of me, I don't know about you guys, but I'm really fucked up. And what you just alluded to about the legislation is Nadine Dorries seeing this and saying, this is outrageous, we now need to legislate against offence of this sort. And I agree, we do not want to go down that line, because this platform, literally the stage, is something that we own. And it's a very rare, beautiful thing. And I didn't come for your houses, and benefits and everything else. I came here for your free speech, so that I could say what I wanted, which I couldn't say back in Pakistan. So
and the beans as well for breakfast.
And the beans, yeah. How can you not like beans?
I know.
I'm sorry,
they're so good at protein. It's a great.
then you put them on breakfast and they touch everything.
Yeah, that's
and then you've got your cooked tomatoes. What the fuck is
Cooked
that?
tomatoes.
Oh.
Are you living in a hotel? Who's having cooked tomatoes? Who's got time?
I'm sorry. How did you pass this British citizenship
Things
test?
I just it was a minimum 70%, and I got barely.
I think somebody needs to dob you in.
I'm
Your
trained
tomato
enough to
hatred.
compensate for that, so I've consumed so much alcohol. They went, all right, fine. Yeah, blood alcohol's high enough.
And do you have your little glasses of grapefruit juice and orange juice in the morning as well? Do you have your little
Let's find out who's seen the clip. I don't know how out of context it was really.
You've seen? Oh, did you watch the show on Netflix? What did you
Oh,
think?
the whole show.
Very cringe, but some part.
Very.
Just that big a lot.
Are you a fan of him normally?
I watched the sitcoms and stuff, not the 8 out of 10 Cats. And
Right,
that kind of stuff. Yeah, but he's got a lot of other people on that. But I think
Yes. The other part is some comics can get away with darker material because they have a twinkle and charm, which doesn't always come across on television or especially on Twitter. Like Jim Jeffries. Jim Jeffries used to tell some horrific jokes that I don't even want to repeat now because 10 years on they were inappropriate then, but he said it was such just this tenderness in his eye when he was being horrifically misogynistic, and it was funny. But it might not sell now. But he was vulnerable, whereas JimmyCarr is never vulnerable, and that I think does make a bit of a difference.
Yeah, because look, no one's knocking him as a craftsman. Yeah, he writes, he does shows whatever like that. But the material, what I mean, when you saw that, did you not see the reaction of the crowd? You're thinking, oh my god, it was like a bear pit.
yeah, no, I don't know. The crowd weren't really against.
That's what. Yeah, they were actually for it.
They were like,
It was like a
It's a
rally.
fine line between a gig and a rally.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, and he could be just Nigel Farage. He's got the suit. He might as well just carry. He could have handed out leaflets at the end. Could have gone, come on, let's go and round up some gypsies.
But for balance, I just want to say that is JimmyCarr's brand.
Yeah.
I don't think you go and see JimmyCarr and expect to see little fluffy kind of
Oh no! But I'm not knocking that. I'm saying,
yeah.
but the thing is, look, we all know it's like if you're writing shows or whatever, and people always go, they always say this classic thing, which is a little bullshit, where they go, yeah, but it's so hard to cross the line. There's the line. You cross that, and you go, no, it's not. I could go and get a 12-year-old kid from school who can cross the line. They're jokes. That's what they do. Because it's harder for you to write an hour and a half of stand-up where there's no swearing, you're not attacking anyone, you're not talking about men and women, you're not like indifference, you do it in a funny way, you're not going and you're not attacking sexuality.
Which is your brand of comedy.
You don't have to be sexist, homophobic, racist, you don't have to, you just entertain people, that's the whole point.
Is it Chappelle's way, if you can perform the joke in front of a room full of those people?
Yeah, exactly.
That's your like,
yeah,
I
exactly.
think some of Dave's jokes might not pass that test.
Well, Chappelle got in trouble for that trans joke, and when you see the trans joke, he was actually on their side. He's talking about, so it's people who haven't seen the joke attacking him, and you're thinking, Chappelle is talking, we were talking about that, but Dave Chappelle was saying about how difficult it is for trans people, he was saying about how difficult it is for these groups, but he said, but as a black man, he said, I've had all this, and I would still get shot. So he's saying about how difficult. So he's coming from that point. Whereas this is the problem with Jimmy, is that Jimmy hasn't. He's not had enough suffering like that to go right. Okay, I'm going to attack these.
Yeah.
But I mean, he did lose that tax haven.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
exactly.
true.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
true.
exactly.
Big financial loss.
Can you imagine? Yeah, I mean, he's not even paying his tax, and then he's attacking everyone else. It's like, oh god.
When you deliver the joke in the show, when you watched it, because when I saw the clip, it's just cast it JimmyCarr, sets it up the Holocaust and has a pause, just for effect, because he knows, look, it's going to be shocking. He's really telling you exactly how it's going to go. Did that come across any different in the actual whole show?
Hard to say. I actually didn't watch the whole show in one go because it was just a bit much.
That's interesting. You thought it was too much. Okay.
Yeah, I just kept coming back for more.
Okay, let's not trigger you any further and go on to another tweet.
Just quickly, comedian Dave Longley backing you up here, Sajeela. It seems like JimmyCarr's special wasn't getting streamed much. I bet it is now.
But this is what Jimmy. Yeah, but okay. Last point on this, and again, I'm not knocking him, but JimmyCarr used to work for, I think it was Esso or Shell, so he was a big marketing man for an oil company. If you could work for an oil company and make them look good, of course you're going to make this look good.
That's true.
And so he knows exactly what he's doing. He's not going to put a joke out about, oh yeah, I got 2 puppies. Here's a funny thing. He's going to go, I'm going to put a joke out.
Which is actually, because we're going to talk about Twitter, but it's very comparable to I've got Salman Rushdie. Sorry, Salman Rushdie. Satanic Verses. So I had a copy of it the year before all the hoo-ha broke out. Now this guy was in advertising, and I think you're all too young to remember that there was an advert with cakes called Naughty But Nice. Naughty But Nice. Anybody remember? Okay, yeah, any person who's like older, they knows. And I think he set that whole thing up to get that hoo-ha. Didn't expect it to go as far as it did. JimmyCarr, will he survive this? We'll just have to see.
Oh, he will survive. He knows exactly.
Okay, so, and also we've got one. We have got another professional comedian in the room. Ollie, what did you make? You saw it.
Yeah, I did. I watched the special, but it was like 6 weeks ago that it was released. I don't know why all of a sudden we're talking about it now.
Yeah.
But I do broadly agree. But I do think that it's an act of bad faith to criticise him by calling his jokes his statements. And that's what all the media seems to do. Jimmy said, Jimmy stated.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he obviously did. It was in the context of a comedy show, and I think I wouldn't want material that I've written to be associated with like my statement, things I'm decreeing. But also, it was a crap joke.
Yeah, no, because I'm agreeing with you where I said I don't think he's a racist. I don't think he means it. But what you just said there, it was 6 weeks ago performance. And we talked about this where he deliberately. I don't know if it was him or the marketing team, but they deliberately put that clip out after the Holocaust Memorial Day. Why didn't that clip come out in December? People would have wanted some.
You said to me before you didn't think he was racist. You thought he was a Nazi.
Yeah.
It's not Christmassy though, hey?
No, exactly. No, but the thing is, it's clever. He knows exactly. So you can't listen. You can't go and punch someone and not expect consequences. So that's what you've done. You know what I mean? You put yourself in the ring. You've got to deal with it. And that's what he's done. He's put himself in the.
We could talk about this for a long time, and I know we've all been speaking about this on different platforms as well, other than here today. What do you want to have to say about this?
End of the scale.
Yeah.
Eric's picked a tweet about Wordle.
Oh yes.
Actually, I think I've got stronger feelings about this. No, I haven't.
Yeah.
Alexander S Vindman. Who is Alexander S Vindman?
Well, that's why I chose his tweet. So, all right, who's been playing Wordle? Give us a cheer. Yeah, I like it. I don't. Did you just admit that for the first time? Did your partner not like you playing it? Is he up at midnight waiting for the new word? Like, honey, I'm right here. It's Wordle time!
She's never seen him. He's watching Netflix special. He's on Wordle. This is the first time she's seen him in 3 months.
I don't mind it because it's a simple enough word game that I can win. I'm not keen on the sharing of your Wordle scores. I have not shared a Wordle score. I'm not going to share a Wordle score. I just think it's fucking pointless.
Can you just explain what it is to some of us? Because
When you say some of us, do you mean
me?
you?
I
don't know.
I heard the guy sold it. I don't understand what he sold.
So you can see
So
there.
show us how it works.
So that's do you want
This grid?
let's not go to the Wordle website, but so most people know what it is. You see these grid things here. That shows you your results. So if you get all green, that means you've guessed the word. It's like Hangman.
But then where's the
online.
letters?
Well, that's just the results to show you. Because if you see the letters, then you give it away for everyone else.
Okay.
So this guy's bragging about the fact that he got the word on his second guess.
Okay.
So it's basically Hangman online.
How do you know that's a second guess? Sorry,
Because he's only done 2 lines. So the first line was his first guess. He got the green letter was right. 3 bad letters. And
so
the,
if there was 5 lines, that's his 5th guess. Right.
You've got 6 chances to guess the word.
Okay.
And each time you get a letter right, if it's in the right place, it goes green. Right?
Okay.
So it's a fun little game.
Yeah.
It's Hangman online, 1 word a day for the whole world, which is why it's a great social media thing, right?
Okay.
Everybody's playing the same word. Everybody's posting, and then it gives you this thing to tweet of what your scores are or post on Facebook or whatever. I find that part of the game pointless and irritating. And if you have tweeted your scores or posted them on social media, I am judging you. I'm glad you're here, but fucking stop. But this was complicated for me because Alexander S Vindman, does anybody know who he is? Very famous. He testified in the first Trump impeachment, and he was the guy that was the secret person to reveal the Ukrainian phone call. He worked in the Department of Justice. He's an immigrant to the United States. His family escaped Ukraine as children, and he came there with his father. And in the impeachment testimony, I was actually going to name my Edinburgh show that got canceled during lockdown after The Greatest American Hero, and my whole show was going to be him at the point where I was going to have that emotional moment that you need in an Edinburgh show, where I talk about the fact that I got choked up as an American because he said in the impeachment testimony that my dad was worried about me, who escaped Ukraine under Soviet rule, about me testifying against the President of the United States. And I said to him, "Don't worry, Dad, this is America." And it made me cry when I first saw him do that. And that's because I still have a little, I know you're cringing because you're British. We have that in America. I don't know in Puerto Rico because you probably resent too much of what we've done. But in the mainland, where, I was a child of the 70s and 80s, and, America was still good then, and American dream and things. But yeah, it was very emotional. And so I really like him and respect what he did because he stood up to Trump and helped diminish the power of the president and was very brave as an immigrant to America in that story. But then he's tweeted this fucking Wordle. So now I don't know what to do with him anymore. So he's a hero. And he's suing John Jr. right now for defamation. So, I mean, you gotta like the guy.
So what you're basically saying is that someone does something wrong on Twitter, you can easily go off them really quickly.
That's what makes Twitter great.
Yeah, okay, well that's true. Would you make judgments on what, oh really, they tweeted that? Unfollow. And that is the kind of way that you follow and follow. Because today you'll be following us, LKT Zoom, right? I'll said that again, LKT Zoom, and also on the Instagram as well. And then tomorrow, when you don't not looking at our faces, you'll just unfollow us quietly, won't you? Have you ever done that? Like stop following someone because you just didn't like their tweet?
Do you know what? I don't really look at it much, but if someone follows me, then I feel like obliged, I better follow them back. And then 6 weeks down the line, if I find out they're not following me, I think, what a cunt, and then I unfollow them.
It's the first time I've ever heard you swear.
I went, what a cunt? I said a cunt. I said, what a cunt. What a cunt.
Yeah, but that is the
CU dash.
Twitter etiquette, because it's horrible when you follow them and they don't follow you back. That's why when somebody follows me and you say you follow them back, I'm trying to hold my nerve. And I know you need more followers, Sajeela. You've got to look like, it looks like your career's doing well.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to follow them back in case they unfollow you. What about you? Do you have any kind of, other than the Wordle?
I'm just seeing if Pat follows me now.
Are you following me?
I don't know.
We better start following each other because that's bad, isn't it?
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't. No, I try and follow
Yeah,
people
I am
that.
following.
Oh, am I following you?
No. Yeah, you are.
And by the way, guys, if you didn't realise, we are really needy comedians.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any rules for it. I mean, I don't follow everyone who follows me because I know that you can make lists of, because if you follow everyone, like some people try and follow 20,000 people so they get 20,000 followers, but then you got your feed is all about that, and I just want, I'm lazy and I just want my feed to be the people that I actually want to hear from, because I know you can make lists apparently and stuff. I don't know, is anybody that organized on Twitter? I know it's not you.
Just
But do you do lists?
I get added to this, and I think, why?
Just like football lists, I can get away from all
Right, okay. So it's not all in one messy feed where you can segment it into the kind of topics you want.
Yeah, just so you don't get caught into like random news articles and other people's sort of arguments and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah, see. Will you do the admin on my Twitter account where you can access, you can segment it?
And what about Julian? I'm going to ask Julian. Do you ever? Because what's your Twitter kind of like? Yeah. Well, do you follow, unfollow, quit? What it based on? Like that person's pissing me off with their tweet, or
I mean, most of the people that piss me off with their tweets usually get retweeted by everybody else on my timeline anyway. It's like there are some people you don't have to ever follow in order to see what they're doing. Trump was one of them. Owen Jones tends to be another. There are other examples, but I've never bothered. I don't think I've blocked many people, and I'm not muted. I might mute Wordle actually. I have to say, but, I've not muted anyone. I don't know. Is anyone muted?
any muters in here?
Muted?
Who's a fan of the old finger and the meter? Because it's all the power, isn't it? It goes to your head, doesn't it? I can block them or I can mute them.
I have been blocked for the first time ever today.
Oh,
That was the coming here.
By who?
Who?
It was an anti-vaxxer who tweeted herself on the underground saying, "No one's wearing a mask and I'm proud of it." And she was wearing a woolen hat. So I tweeted back to her, "A bobble hat won't cure the virus."
And she blocked you for that.
And she blocked me.
What? Do you know, I got this theory that the anti-maskers, like they're really adamant they won't wear a mask. I think secretly they think it's a burqa of some sort, and they think it's a Muslim kind of like thing. I don't know. I'm just like, but yeah, that's well done being blocked. I wouldn't know if I've been blocked. So then when I go to go talk to them, I think, ah! And it's like someone in the industry. I was like, they blocked me. What did I do? When did I last see them?
How can you tell?
Because
you
it's
message them.
oh yeah, when I go to message
I
them,
would-
and
I
they're
would-
like, oh my god, they stopped following me.
You can't check every follower now, Pat.
Yeah.
I wonder why my feed's got no one.
Yeah. So
Yeah, right,
what's
let's-
another
No
tweet?
one would block Pat. That's the thing.
No, that was
no
not
one will
you.
block that, actually, that is true.
Yeah, everybody loves
I mean,
Pat.
one thing I would say this, the MI6 boss, I think it was, actually tweeted out, I should have picked that, shouldn't I? The MI6 boss said, no, I really wish people wouldn't tweet their Wordle scores. But I think that's because he's worried about whistleblowers actually putting some kind of clue.
Oh, yeah. Oh, see, the plot thickens, guys. I think we're ready for another tweet, guys.
Yeah. Right, well, God, maybe I should get the audience to pick.
Yeah, see, I told you that was a good guy. Oh, we're going to go back to Arthur.
We have one from Pat yet?
Arthur, you'll have to wait. I'm sorry.
See,
He's never been on Twitter. I want him to be on Twitter.
Arthur, come on, Arthur.
Hang on, Pat. You've right. Well, let's. What's going on with this one, Pat? This is one of your choices.
Oh, the dragon. Okay, so
Right,
did
so
you?
let's just say what it is. Bloomberg quick take.
Yeah.
Warning for those born in the year of the dragon. This isn't the best year for you.
Yeah.
Keep your expectations modest in wealth and lie low in your career. A little more caution in health and love could help dragons this year.
Horrific. That is what I saw on the. So basically, it was. You guys all know. So basically, it was the Chinese New Year and the Lunar New Year at the start of Feb, and they have these 12 different animals that depending on when you're born. So I'm a dragon. Is anyone else a dragon? No. So yeah, you are. You are. So basically, what that's saying is we're gonna have a bad year. You're gonna go bankrupt. You've got no money. I mean, look, fuel bills are going through the roof. Food bills are going up. Everything. So basically, there's no point living this year. This is it. It's over. Basically, they said, just end it, don't worry about it. And I was like, oh, well, basically, why would you tweet that out? Saying, look, warning, you have a bad year. And then, so then I looked into it, I thought, well, I'm not superstitious, but then I looked into it, I thought, well, what does this actually mean? And I thought, look, so we're dragons, and it said that we've all got traits. So it's like the year of the tiger, so if anyone was born 4 years ago, was anyone here born 4 years ago? So it's every 4 years. And then these traits, and they're actually, and I thought, these things are worse than zodiac signs. It doesn't mean anything. Like, so basically, dragons, we are, you've got like dragons and oxes. Oxes are like strong, tough people, but you taste the soup. Dragons, we're like fiery people, a lot of indigestion, and we get free travel in Wales. This is all it, there's nothing. This is all that these star signs are, and I thought, and then why you? And then they're just tweeting out negative stuff like this. But then people read that and think, oh my god, this is going to ruin my life. So I was like quite worried when I saw that. I thought, why would you? And then loads of, and if you look at the tweet, there's like thousands, hundreds of thousands of people like us who are dragons, just saying, oh my god, I'm going to end my life, I'm going to commit suicide. And I thought, well, exactly, because you put this out. I mean, how do you feel now that you've seen that?
We're worried about the providing their own light, electricity, and oxygen.
Exactly. Maybe, are you living in a tent? I mean, what, just...
Is this how Doomsday is going to work? It's literally going to be staggered by like year, 8 day birth.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how it is.
And then they're going to like bring up a picture of a weasel and go, right, everyone's dead.
Are you quite superstitious yourself, though? I mean, do you believe in these things?
No, I wouldn't think. Do you know what? I wouldn't really. But then when I read it, I did start thinking, didn't you?
Yeah.
I was thinking, God, I was going to go to the casino tonight. I'm not going to bother now, unless I dress up as like a tiger instead of a dragon. But no, I wouldn't gamble anyway. I wouldn't go to the casino. But yeah, I mean, I'm not that superstitious, but you can't not ignore things like that.
That's quite in your face.
I like that it's tweeted by Bloomberg News, basically, which is a massively reputable news organization.
Yeah.
But just throw in a little bit of horoscope.
Exactly.
And you're right, I just was looking at the feed there. It's like some people are just like, yeah, I thought 2020 was bad, but oh shit.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You just go out
It is Bloomberg. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
It's not like people looking to these guys for investment advice.
Yeah. I think
Don't invest this year.
I think someone had lost all their family in the last 2 years with COVID, and then now they've gone, oh, well, okay, this is going to be great, 2022.
I think I'm blocked by one of the people that have responded to this.
Really?
Yeah, I can't see this. It's been limited.
We're making our guests very uncomfortable because they're suddenly realising who's stopped following them, not following them, and focusing more on that, I think.
Yeah.
Because that's what there is about me.
It's always about me in comedy.
They'll only be uncomfortable if you actually follow them after the show around the corner.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, where do you sit on this, on this sort of superstition?
Me, I'm just sort of slightly obsessed by that. That was a good spot on the line about oxygen worrying. But this thing here where it says, use your habit of beginning many tasks at once to give you an early overview of what you will and what will and won't work this year. It's like basically multitaskers are doomed, is what it's saying.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't like that.
Well, anyone's doomed if you're a dragon. What are you? What's your...
I'm a actually, no, hang on. I'm a sign that won't give my dating age away. Sorry, it's private information.
No, but are you... Okay, what animal are you then? Without...
I think I might be a rat.
A rat?
I thought I was a rat. I thought
Are you a
rat? I think I'm a rat or a snake. I've forgotten now.
A rat
Or a
is
snake.
the best one. Are you a rat?
Yes.
Are you a rat as well? Who else is a rat? So when I read about this, Arthur, you're right. So rat is basically, what it was, the Emperor Jade, where this all started, was basically wanted to get 12 guards, and so he got all the animals in the kingdom to do this race and set them to run across a land and across a river to get to the finishing line. And out of all the animals, the rat won, right? There's a dragon competing. I'm thinking, how is a dragon? Why is the dragon not won this race? They went, the rat crossed this stream, it ran across. I thought, why did this dragon on this only day thought, do you know what, I'll breaststroke that. I mean, I could fly across.
It's, you know what, it's typical rat that it understands.
It just, you're like, what are you, how did the rat win? Yeah, mental.
That's right. Well, you're up there flying around and getting shit done.
Yeah, the dragon's like, oh, there's the finish line. But yeah, let me just compete like this. And a snake is a snake finished 12, and a cat didn't. So this is why in Chinese a cat is unlucky. A cat finished 13th, so it didn't finish in the top 12. So the cat that has got arms and legs, whatever it's got, paws, that can run and swim. A snake that hasn't got any arms and legs beat a cat. I mean, the guy that came up with these was on heroin. I mean, this doesn't make sense.
I'm more fascinated by how much you know about it. It's like,
no, I just read about it.
This is a mastermind specialist subject.
Yeah, I'd love to do it. And then,
what's your specialist subject on mastermind?
15 minutes in this pad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it was ridiculous. I was not only because when I read that and I started researching, think, God, is this really true? Is something going to happen?
I think you've never felt more alive than you did just then talking about
Yeah.
that. I think this is.
I was really intrigued by it. Yeah.
No, but I think that's got to be your next Edinburgh show, definitely, as Julian said. So I think we should get another tweet.
Yeah.
Can we get Arthur on the case now, please?
Come on, Arthur.
Come on, Arthur.
Right,
Everybody,
I'm
Arthur.
actually struggling to read it though.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, go on.
Do you want to use my
Come on,
phone?
Julian's been with them
Well, look, why don't we...
Then you guys.
Surely somebody wants to know about the one with the gun, probably, don't they?
Don't guide Arthur. Arthur can choose by himself.
Well, we've got guns now.
Has your partner's got good eyesight? Could you see
This
this?
is my gun. Yeah, well, this is another person I like following on Twitter, and I encourage people to follow Ron Filipkowski, who I've interviewed on my podcast, American Exchange. Please check it out on all the platforms, including Spotify. I think it's, I don't know who it is. But he's a former prosecutor and just a former Republican who got fed up with everything happening with Trump at the last election, and he started tracking Republicans who are mega Republicans, far right Republicans, and he's been building up this database of information. People who might win in the primaries, who may end up becoming candidates, and he's holding it back. And he couldn't find all the information himself because he's still a full-time lawyer. So he's got 2 stay-at-home moms who work for him, and they track all these right-wing nut jobs, send him the tweets, and then he decides what to put out there and share. And then he's been saving it back in case different people get nominated. I mean, these women wanted to do something, but they didn't want to be in the public eye because, of course, you start tweeting stuff like this, you get attacked by nut jobs. And so this was just one of his tweets that he put out showing a woman with a gun because she's a Christian. And nothing shows your love of Christ like an AK-47 as long as you douse the bullets in holy water. And so he's just someone that he's picked, but he's fantastic because he's got loads of clips of just insanity. That is there. And I mean, the thing with the guns in America, I don't know, do you have as many guns in Puerto Rico as in the Continental? Yeah. But the thing is, even left-wing people have guns in America, and I think that's the thing British people don't understand. Like, but our guns, so if you're liberal and you have a gun in America, you know, it's organic. And the bullets are made of quinoa. So you just want to get shot in the face. It's delicious. But yeah, so it's just nutty, and he's great.
We did have a great photo. I don't know if it was good when you were a guest on our show. The photo with the family of the guns.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I mean, this
It was
is a
it was their
thing.
Christmas card, and it was,
Yeah.
and he's a conservative Trump Republican running for Congress, and every single one of the people in the photo had like this kind of weapon, including a 5-year-old girl and an 8-year-old boy,
What?
and yeah, they're not with
Yeah,
us.
the baby's not got a dummy. It's just got like a grenade in its mouth. Like, yeah, it was incredible.
But it is, I mean, it's just like, I last time I visited, I've got family in New Mexico, and they're hoarders, like their house is just full of shit, it's just incredible. And I was sitting under the chair, and I looked down on the floor, and there were just bullets laying down on the floor. And I was like, what is that there for? I mean, they're messy people. My dad has 3 guns. One of them is, 2 of them are an antique rifle, which, you know, it's great-grandma's rifle.
Is this just
You're not
when you
gonna-
visit?
But you know, he's kept it all these years. You're not going to get rid of great-grandma's rifle because she was a good shot and she was mean. And,
But where do they keep them?
he's got just in the closet.
What, the bodies or the bullets?
Yeah, the bodies.
It's like
One of the guns he doesn't
creepy.
even know. I asked him because he has a handgun, and I was like, "Where did you get this gun?" And he genuinely doesn't remember.
What?
That's how common guns are in this.
Do you not have to have a license?
No.
So they're not even a license?
You don't license them. Most states don't allow you to have rules to lock them. Some states will say you have to lock them up in a certain way, but that infringes on my right to, shoot myself and my child. So, but you just pick guns up along the way, like, when you got a sexually transmitted disease at university.
Yeah.
You don't know who, or pick on you again, but it's because you cringe when I was patriotic. So, yeah, it is insane.
We had to cut saluting the flag from the show, Eric.
I know. To the Pledge of Allegiance. Do you have to do the Pledge of Allegiance in Puerto Rico elementary schools?
In American
In-
schools, yes,
okay.
we do, and sing the national anthem, and so we do the American first and then the Puerto Rican.
Okay, because every day in American primary school, the kids all stand up, put their hand on their heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Jesus, how long were your school classes? We've gone home by then. Literally, they did that. Right, I'll see you tomorrow. Come on.
Yeah, they've annotated a little bit, liberty and justice for all, unless you're Native American, those kind of things. But yeah.
So you have literally grown up thinking that guns is just normalised. It's not. It's like the horror that the British people would feel like a gun in the house. That just doesn't exist.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people. It is the horror of guns is normalized. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people are that's just the way it is.
Now I say that, but actually, both of us, I mean, your background, it's like, would your family So is it all right? Do you mind me saying where
No,
it is?
yeah, of course,
Okay,
yeah.
so do you want to tell them where? Because some of the stories you've told
Yeah.
would suggest that your family have also come into contact with guns, but in a very different context to.
So my family, I mean, it's quite funny. So my family come from Avos, which is in the borders between Iran and Iraq. It's the Khuzestan region. So they're Persian and Arabs, and so where we grew up, where I was at the time as a kid, that all got bombed during the Iran-Iraq war. So we were right in the middle, and yeah, if we did have guns, we'd have probably still been there, would have been saved. But that was the problem was where we were. That was all where Saddam used all his chemical weapons and stuff. So my family moved from there to the north of England.
So basically, your people sold weapons to his people.
Yeah, yeah.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you, thank you. Do you want any of them back?
So I've got the receipt.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's all
I'm
got
doing the
to
accounting right
All
now.
cash, all cash.
One of them bombs killed my auntie's dog, and she's fuming about that. So when she finds out that I've been speaking to you, she's going to kill
Could be
you.
worse, Eric's dad.
Yeah. I heard an interest. In fact, this was one of the when you were talking about guns, and you said about in England. Genuinely, I read a great article about this, and it said, do you know the reason why we would never legalise guns in the UK? Did you know about this? Do you know about this? It was basically because it was a true statistic. They said the reason why in the UK we would never have guns is because if you have a gun in your house, you're twice as likely to get shot. This is what happens in America. So they don't realise this, that in America, someone breaks into your house, the first thing a homeowner does is go, I'm going to get my gun. You pull a gun out. The person who's broken into your house is twice as likely to pull a gun out. And that's why they say in the UK we don't. So that's why if someone breaks into your house, we only keep like strawberries. Because we pull out strawberries, you're twice as likely they're going to pull out cream. You know, oh my God, we've got a party.
Chuck a can of baked beans.
Yeah.
That would actually do a lot of damage, I have to say.
But it's such a true statistic. I think exactly why does America not? You don't get that, do they? In America, it's like just stop pulling out, stop having a gun, because then you're not gonna.
But it's baked into the DNA of who.
It's crazy.
they are, so.
Yeah, but America might have guns, but we have knife crime, and actually they've got the same sort of solution as, like, to young kids saying don't carry a knife,
Yeah.
you're twice as more likely to
Exactly.
get stabbed. It's the same thing, and that is a problem in London, knife crime. So kids, and so we can't sort of judge America. We've got our own stuff going on. So, what do you want to go with this?
Where should we go with just checking anyone in the audience with any guns?
Arthur!
Arthur's got a gun!
He's got a sword. Have you not read about him? He's got a sword. Get your Excalibur out. Come on,
Go on,
Arthur.
Arthur, get yourself in a good position and choose the one that you
Yes.
want. Don't be bullied by anyone else. Just you choose the one you want. Look, they're falling more and more in love as this show's gone on. They're getting more and more comfy. They're getting more and more hard. And the more all these.
No, they're touching. Come on.
There's content.
There is
Right,
content.
I'm going to give Arthur. Do you want Ben and Jerry's ice cream, not actual ice cream?
Yeah.
Do you want the Dean Dory's Ben and Jerry's ice cream, or God, what else? Pat, I'm going to put your pillow fight one at the end.
Let's go with Ben and Jerry's.
Ben and Jerry's.
Ben and Jerry's.
Yes.
Okay, so let's get to
That's what
Ben.
I checked.
Do you want to?
Just comes through earlier. Right. Okay. So original tweet from Ben and Jerry's. I think this is over the weekend. Not that long ago. You cannot simultaneously prevent and prepare for war. We call on President Biden to de-escalate tensions and work for peace rather than prepare for war. Sending thousands more US troops to Europe in response to Russia's threats against the Ukraine only fans the flame of war. Now it's time for ice cream. And then James O'Malley, who set up something called Trump's Alert, so you might know him, tracking the Trump family on Twitter. He tweeted back. Oh, come on, James. There we go. I'm afraid I disagree with this subsidiary of Unilever Corporation on this one. I hope the rest of the company's portfolio of brands understand the importance of supporting democratic self-determination. What do you think, Bovril official? Slam dunk. I just, is this a bit like the whole thing about corporate brands and, should they be wading in? Do they make a difference? I mean,
I think they're using the tactics that we've said, that if you instead of sending weapons, send the ice cream, hoping the Russians will send back hundreds of thousands in chocolate sauce, just for that.
Yeah, because that worked in the company,
Yeah,
didn't it?
of course it did, yeah. Everyone loves Ben and Jerry's. Do we?
It's literally a new cold war. I mean, I don't know whether this means that we need the chunky monkey as Secretary of State, or, whether I mean, actually, Toblerone did stop me voting leave, but that's only because I wanted
Really?
to buy the big ones.
Oh,
I just,
I
yeah,
don't know. I must
just
admit,
find this
that might
corporate
change
thing.
the vote. You're right.
Yeah,
I agree.
I just find this corporate sort of wading in on the big stuff. It's just
But
boring.
would Toblerone really have gone? I love Toblerone as well. Yeah, but just go to the airport. You can get them at the airport at 6 a.m.
So you know, we have had other examples of this in the past, but I just wondered what you guys, and obviously you guys, make of you know, your brands. It might be your favourite brands. I mean, I reckon Joe Biden's more of a Haagen-Dazs lad, but you know.
Yeah, it's too foreign. You'd have to go with Ben and Jerry's. It sounds more American. But I mean, the thing is, in the United States, that the Supreme Court has decided that corporations are people. So a corporate entity is considered a person when it comes to donating for political contributions. So if they are people and they can donate as people, then they should be able to have freedom of speech as people. So, you know, but I think that's a good subtweeting there to point out some hypocrisy there, so that's good.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I agree with that. Anyone
Yeah.
else want their ice cream to sort of basically dictate their political views?
Oh yeah, I'd love ice cream. Whatever. If you give me ice cream, I'll do whatever you want. That's how easy I am. Yeah. Why?
I'd be harder to win over because I'm diabetic, so I don't know. Have you got a version of me? Yeah, sorbet.
Sorbet,
Sorbet.
yeah.
I'd probably.
Is that
All right. So
allowed?
where do I sign up? Okay.
Yeah.
Is there sugar-free ice cream?
That's how ISIS recruit.
Yeah.
Who actually are looking for a new leader.
There you go,
So
Eric.
there you go.
Why
They
did you
should
look at
offer
me
ice
like
cream.
that? Eric, this is an opportunity.
Eric, you're the only one that's got access to guns.
Oh,
Come on, you get out there.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. Well, good choice.
Yes,
Arthur, well
Well
done.
done.
I'll take it all back. I'll take it all back. So, has anyone else here sort of had an experience where they've changed their view of something or behaviours because of a brand? Good. No, that's the answer I wanted. We can move on.
We've got
Yeah.
a smart audience in.
Yeah.
Oh, did you? Yes,
Just
I've
'cause
got.
a lot of this stuff is comes across very disingenuous, so I might turn away from a brand if I feel like they're just saying something for marketing purposes.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
I mean, I think the Ben and Jerry's guys have always been very active
Yeah.
politically, so I think that they are consistent with their brand, but they did allow themselves to get bought out by a massive fucking company. So they took the money and they've stuck around, I suppose.
What about Innocent? Are they
Innocent
selling
Smoothies?
Innocent
They're bought by
Innocent- yeah,
Coca-Cola
Innocent Smoothies,
now,
aren't they
aren't
quite
they?
political?
Yeah, Fanta, Coke,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Yeah. Instant smoothies.
Innocent
Right.
Smooth.
I think we've got time for one more, and Pat, it has to be your what's it called? Pillow
Pillow
fight
fighting.
from Breezy Scroll. Who are Breezy Scroll?
So did anyone see this?
Yes.
You saw this as well. It's unbelievable. I thought it was a joke, but it's actually genuine truth. So they're trying to develop a new sport to put in like MMA fighting, or whatever, but it's actually pillow fighting, which actually is quite a good suggestion because it's better than the other stuff that's brutal. Not to be confused with pillow biting. That's a different sport. But pillow fighting, because that's what I thought it was. So pillow fighting is basically what they do is I think it was in Florida or Vegas or whatever. They've set it up. And they've obviously the men, the women competing, and there's a £5,000 prize for the best thing. So you go in, and it's much better because you know, like when you see two people just going in battering each other, it's just horrific. Whereas with pillows, it's actually quite good fun. And the advantage of this is you can bring in your own pillow, so it brings in craft as well, craft skills as well as brute force. And the winner, actually, one of the winners, he made his pillow out of bamboo and MDMFA. So he actually, he won it quite easily. The only downside, I'm not cheating. Yeah, it's not cheating. He was quite creative. The only downside of this is obviously, I don't know if any of the international people have ever stayed at a travel lodge. This is dangerous because a travel lodge could be overtaken by a stag do or a hen do. Literally, if they could pillow fight, they could just take over like 12 floors. You're not getting anywhere. I mean, you're just giving them weapons.
I want them to do this with duvets. I want them. This is the 12-time champion of the world.
But well, actually, a duvet would be great because you could do all sorts of skills, like wrapping people up. You could sweep their legs, whereas with a pillow,
I've
it's
seen Olympic sport in its future.
yeah.
So,
Did someone else? You've seen this. You saw it as well. Haven't you? You've seen that there's genuine, and then you can watch clips of the fight. And like I said, look, I'm totally against any sort of violence. But when you watch this, it's actually quite therapeutic. It's quite like there's nothing like seeing two people just steroided up with like pants, but just tapping each other with a pillow. It's just so nice.
So would you guys pay to see Pat and Eric have a little pillow fight, and me and Julian like kind of like in the
Julian with
outside,
a
like, come on,
duvet.
time out, you know, giving them like more like milkshake,
Yeah,
sort of get
because
Harvey
it's
glass,
like-
ice cream, you know.
Because he's not blooded, you've not got broken noses at the end of it.
Well,
I
I'd
love
love to
this.
say that we've run out of time, so we won't be watching.
Can we just get Eric's take on the pillow fighting?
Yeah, I think you're right. It would depend. Rather than goose down, I would just go for a whole goose.
Oh.
Yeah, just put it in there with cheek and everything.
I'd have to fight someone who's got an allergy to feathers, and then just use feathers and make them sneeze a lot.
Phone pillow fight. That would be as good.
Oh,
Heavy feathers.
Memory foam?
No, because then, oh god, they're just sleeping in.
So the thing is, you're supposed to be only as good as your last fight, so if you've got memory foam, it's just like you're stuck in time. Right?
Would you like it? Is here all week? Is here all week?
Hello! Come on!
Is here all
End of the
week?
joke. That's always a good time to get out.
Yeah, that's true. Actually. Maybe that's it. Maybe this should be the bit. We have actually run out of time, and I'm going to be a stickler, as I always am. Always.
Always.
We need to plug. We need to give some people some plugs.
Yeah, if I didn't tell you before, it's LK at LKT Zoom on Twitter. We are also on Instagram at LKT Zoom.
Yeah, we don't really care about
don't,
Instagram.
I don't care about Instagram. But I made him go on Instagram. I said, look, young people are on Instagram. We've got to go on there. Do follow us. Do tweet about today. It's hashtag LKT. If you want to tweet about today, and we will find you and follow us, and we love all that. And you know, you've heard how needy we are, so you know you've got no choice but to go home and do this. Do tell your friends. And we are live. Well, we've got live stream every Sunday.
Yes, that's right. So we are back live streaming next Sunday between 8 and 9 o'clock, and we've got Rosie Holt and what's Taryn's surname?
Taryn Mahanabai from New Zealand, so he's going to be doing a live kind of link up from New Zealand.
That'll be like 8 in the morning.
Yeah,
in New Zealand, wouldn't it?
he's 8 in the morning, and we're 8 in the night.
God, it's going to be awake on a Sunday morning.
So you know, if you've got any people.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you've got any comedians from Puerto Rico and Canada and everywhere else, you know, we can just put them in touch with them.
Canada's loads.
Yeah.
Kind of Jim Carrey was Canadian, isn't he? Could you know him? Get Jim on.
We will. But yeah, please do come. It's been an absolute joy. It's our inaugural first ever live, and obviously I haven't seen Julian for literally years. I'm not kidding, literally years, and each other. We have not seen each other. So this has really been a lovely, special show. Thank you so much. And Julian, do you want to wrap up the rest of the?
Obviously, please follow our guests, Patrick Monahan at Patrick J Monahan and Erich McElroy at Erich McElroy. And obviously follow us. Please tune in next week. It'll be fantastic.
Textual healing for Julian, and I'm at Sajeela Kershi, because we are important too.
Yeah, I sometimes forget that. It's all about the guests.
Yeah. So guys, I think I don't know what happens. I forgot what happens. What's the social going? How do we get rid of them now?
Give us a round of applause.
Yes. Thank you so much.